In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the transmission speed sensor on your Toyota Camry located on top of your transmission. In order to access our transmission speed sensor, you want to get and remove the air filter box here as well as the air intake tube. We're going to start by using our 10mm socket back on the throttle body here. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver as well. Once that clamp is loose, we now want to go ahead and access the one down here, right behind our ignition coil. Now on the air lid box itself, there's going to be these little clips here. There's going to be 4 of these, 1 in each corner. You're just going to flip these out. Reach down along the other side and get those as well. On the back side of the air intake tube, there is a vacuum hose right here. Slide that hose off. With this up, you can access this air intake temp sensor right on the side of the air intake box itself. Push down on this little clip and wiggle this connector off. Twist that up and out. Now to access that speed sensor, you're going to reach down underneath. There's some wires right here, some harnesses, but here is the connector. And here is a speed sensor right down below here. Now there's a 10mm bolt holding it in place. To start, we need to go ahead and remove this connector. There's a little tab on the top of it. You can normally pinch that and wiggle that harness off. It's kind of a tight, awkward position, so do the best you can to try and work that off. Now I'm going to use a pair of pliers while I pinch this connector here and kind of work that up and off. Here we go. You just use a little pocket screwdriver to press on that tab. With that disconnected, we're going to use a 10mm socket. Got to remove that bolt. Then grab that sensor. Now this is held in with a rubber O-ring. So you can try and grab that and just kind of twist it up and out. Now our sensor is a little bit stuck in there, so you can use some pliers. You can use a small pry tool if you have something. You gently want to get underneath. Now from underneath the vehicle, we can actually reach up right beside the exhaust pipe and use a pair of pliers on this. Our sensor was stuck in the transmission. So we want to try and work this a little bit so we can get that up and out. All right, now we have that O-ring broke free. Grab that sensor, we're going to twist it and pull it up. There we go. Now you just want to manipulate that harness up and out of the way, because there's a gear on the bottom of this we need to get to clear. So just pull it up. Work that up and out. And drop it out through the bottom. Now here we have our old unit here, and you can see there's a gear. This one does not, so we need to swap this over. Now right about here, there's a little retaining clip. Now I'm going to use a small pick. And want to remove this clip. You want to be careful when doing this. You don't want it to shoot off and launch across the room because we're going to reuse it. So there it is right there. Just set that aside. And take the gear with the shaft and just gently slide this out. Now on the bottom side here, it is notched, so it will have to fit into this here in a notched position. Wipe down the gear shaft. We're going to do an inspection. Inspect this shaft for any type of damage. Everything looks good. Check your gears. Make sure that they're all there. You don't want to have any of these teeth missing. And everything looks like it's wearing perfect. I'm going to take this unit, I'm going to slide it in, and this notch right here is going to line up where that little spring clip is going to go. Slide that into place. You can turn it and you can feel it pop in. So you can put a little bit of pressure, rotate, boop, and it pops in. Now once it pops into place, you can look inside this little groove right inside here. Slide that shaft just ever so lightly. And you're going to see that notch in that shaft line up. And we want to get this flat part of that little clip here into this notch. And I press that in. Work this shaft a little bit here with that gear. And there it is. Once you pull out a little bit, it snaps right into place. Make sure that that clip is fully seated. Now before we install this here, I want to take some fresh transmission fluid, put it around this O-ring seal and around this portion of the shaft of the sensor, and then drop it down inside. And I'm just using a little bit of transmission fluid here. Rub that around. Let's go ahead and drop this into our transmission. Now from up top, we can go ahead and bring our new sensor down, line that up, and lower this down inside. Push that down into place. You're going to feel it and hear it pop in. Take your 10mm bolt, line that up and get that started in. I like to thread that in as far as I can by hand, and then we'll just come on back with our ratchet and snug that down. And once that bolt bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. You just want to snug it down into place. It doesn't have to be super tight. Go ahead and grab that connector, get that lined up and push that down. You can hear it and feel it snap into place. And at that point there, we're going to go ahead and install our air intake tube. Slide your air box down and into place. Once we have that in place, we can go ahead and snap the clips onto the air box. On the back side of the air intake tube, connect that vacuum hose to that port. Tighten down the air intake tube clamp. I just want to make sure that's good and snug. Give that a tug. That's not going anywhere. Install the 10mm bolt here. Snug that down. We're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.